Hey, what's up fellow nerds and geeks of the world? Welcome to CineMike. In this episode I'm going to be unpackaging and reviewing the new Blu-ray release for Star Trek's 50th Anniversary Collection, which contains the original series, the animated series, and the original 6 films all in one place. This release also features an all-new disc which contains the new documentary Journey to the Silver Screen. The exclusive incentives to this collection would be this bonus disc, all new illustrated art, and the animated series, I believe for the first time on Blu-ray. This is definitely a collection for the hardcore Star Trek fan out there. So let's get right into this. The collection comes in this box set. Not something easily placed with other DVDs or Blu-rays on a shelf, but great to display somewhere. It is a clear slipcover with a teleporter beam effect which places over top artwork of the silhouetted cast of characters. Inside there's this 50th Anniversary Starfleet insignia badge. The badge itself is a cool collector's item. It's, I believe, magnetic as well. The packaging for it is a little too big. You'd think that there was something else to it, but no. It doesn't hold the badge very well, and as you can see, it was sliding around inside.
Yeah, see, it's all loose inside.
There's a design flaw in this unnecessary box for this badge where it needs to be placed inside or the contents will be loose. As I mentioned before, there's also an exclusive to this collection which is illustrated artwork for each movie, kind of like little mini posters. All of these are pretty cool and unique. If you see here, all of the artwork in this collection has a very 1960s retro feel about it, and in most cases that's a very good, cool thing about it. There's also this artwork for the original series, like a little poster for that as well, and it had the same type of vibe. Most importantly though, we find in this collection that it is divided up into 2 box sets. One for the television episodes and then one for the movies. The television collection is especially packed as it contains all 79 episodes and 2 seasons of the animated series. While it's nice to have it all in one place, it is a little bit much for one package to handle. When you have this many discs, it's easier for them to become loose and slide around. In this, I had a couple discs that were indeed loose, and it appeared they had some little scratches as a result. Nothing so bad that they'd be unable to play, but with the price that you're paying, no one wants to see that. There were several discs that weren't held in place as securely as they should be. However, the opposite problem is also true in that some of the discs were held in so tightly that it was very difficult to remove them. There were some that I was really concerned that I was going to damage, and I had to struggle to get them out. There's also a questionable choice to not have these discs really connected into the box. As you can see, it disconnects. I suppose it makes it easier to maneuver the discs around to get them out, but I'd personally rather see them connected in. It just looks nicer that way. I think that most of my criticisms would have been taken care of if they split the animated series off into its own box, so it's not so much in there that it's about to explode. On the positive side though, I like the personalized art on each disc that is selected from some moment from each episode. As you can see, like on one disc you have the triples and stuff of that nature. I thought that was really cool, and again it has that retro 60s look to it. Now playing the actual discs, we are transported on board the bridge of the Enterprise for the main menu. Now while this looks cool, I can only assume that this is the same menu as previous Blu-ray releases of the original series, since the disc also contains a trailer for the 2009 Star Trek film. So this is probably a case of repackaging, and keep that in mind if you already own a copy of the original series on Blu-ray. This will essentially be the same discs. There is a nice feature on these discs though, where you can bounce back and forth from the original version to the enhanced effects version. I like that, and if only George Lucas granted Star Wars fans this option with his Blu-ray releases, right? There's also a really cool feature for select episodes called Starfleet Access, which provides commentary on these effects changes, but also on a range of other topics. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Each disc also contains its own bonus feature, ranging from a feature about William Shatner called Life Beyond Trek, to a feature called Reflections on Spock. There are also a few informative commentaries, but on Disc 4 especially there's some cool extras with the Trouble with Tribbles episode. You get an animated series episode about Tribbles as well as the Deep Space Nine episode where Sisko encounters Kirk in a very impressive blend of effects. There's also 2 features that show how that episode was accomplished with these effects. Now you can find these episodes elsewhere in home media, but having all this Tribble stuff in one place is still pretty cool. The original pilot with Captain Pike, before Shatner was cast as Kirk, is also included in this collection. As far as I know, this is also the only collection with the animated series on Blu-ray. Correct me if I'm wrong. They have a nice and appropriate style for the menus for the time period that the show was released. It has a very retro feel as well. There's a pretty detailed making-of feature in the final disc for the animated series. So, again, that's also another cool feature you're getting with this collection. Now, onto the movie part of this collection, it is definitely superior with how it's put together. There are fewer discs, so they are much more secure, and yet they are also easier to remove, which I like. They are actually attached into the box too. The discs once again have customized artwork for each movie, which again is really cool stuff. The only real criticism that I have for this section is that the box exterior is a little bland. I have the same issue with the television section too. The backside for both is pretty generic. Now onto the discs themselves. We have another case of repackaged content from previously released stuff here. Same menus, and there's nothing really new in most of the cases except, that is, for Star Trek The Wrath of Khan. This sports the director's cut of the film, which is only 3 extra minutes. However, for fans of this classic that are thirsting for more, it's a cool option. Also included is a theatrical cut, of course, so it's nice to have both on one disc. Aside from that, there is a new commentary track from director Nicholas Meyer. The rest of the features are the same as previously released stuff, so you're not getting anything new otherwise. Now let's get to the real crown jewel feature of this movie collection, and that would be the 7th bonus disc, which offers a series of 5 30-minute documentaries that explores the series' journey to the big screen and the making of all 6 movies. This feature is a must for any Star Trek fan because it offers such a huge chunk of new content. It clocks in at around 2 hours and 25 minutes. Now, as with all the documentaries, these are mostly retrospective since they didn't record as much behind-the-scenes stuff back then. As long as you're cool with that, then these features are really an interesting watch. All in all, it's a decent collection. Some of the packaging could be improved maybe. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more extra from some of the discs from previously released versions. However, it's really cool to have everything in one place. There are some really strong features, and the picture and sound quality is as good as it can be. And the final disc, with 2.5 hours of bonus stuff, really made me geek out. If you already own most of this on Blu-ray, then you may want to weigh the pros and cons of purchasing this again. As I mentioned, there are some exclusives that you can only get here, and that makes this a solid purchase for a fan. Now, if you don't own this, and are a fan, then this will definitely be money well spent. So I'd highly recommend it in that case. This collection here is sold at around $130, which is actually a very reasonable and fair price, I think, for everything that's included. In any case, I'm a hardcore Star Trek fan, so to me this is a worthy purchase. It may not be the case for everybody, but for hardcore people, I do recommend this. Well, that's all I got for you guys for this episode. Click like if you enjoyed it or found it informative. Feel free to comment below if you want to discuss this release, its features, and if you think the price is fair, or if you just want to discuss the 50th anniversary of this great franchise. Please subscribe, and join me next time when I nerd out about something else. Until then, this is Mike, signing off.